So this is Draft, and it's called Boy in the Cloud. Okay, can you hear me? Is it? Okay, this is a story about a boy and his best friend, Ben the Cloud. In fact, it was his only friend. But the boy didn't mind. He loved doing everything with Ben. They would play outside, read together, go on adventures, crossing the lava to discover buried treasure at the bottom. Buried treasure in the Pirate's Cove at the bottom of the garden. Since he was a boy, it had been just him and Ben the Cloud, and he wanted it that way forever. The boy's mum enjoyed watching him play outside, but wanted him so very much to join in with the other children. "Look, my love," she would say to him, "they're playing frisbee over on the field. Why don't you join them?" But the boy would always go to look out the back window and say that he only gets to play with Ben the Cloud. One summer's morning, the boy was woken suddenly by a huge crack outside. It sounded like 1,000 pencils being snapped all at once. He sat straight up in bed to look for Ben the Cloud, and when he peered out the window, he saw a huge flash of lightning in the distance. The once fluffy white clouds had turned to grey mountains, conquering the sky, hiding the morning sun. The storm was rolling its way across the horizon as the boy looked around for Ben the Cloud. And just when he saw him, high in the sky, a huge gust of wind came howling through the trees at the bottom edge of the garden. It bent and twisted their branches and sent Ben the Cloud tumbling and turning in the wind, over the roof and out of sight. The boy knew exactly what he had to do. He pulled out his expedition rucksack from under the bed, and swinging it onto his back, he ran downstairs, put on his yellow rain jacket, and he jumped into his adventure shoes in record time. He was out the back door in a flash, and he leaped down all 3 steps in one go, then hurried around the side of the house to the gate. By the time he had made it onto the field, he was outside of his house, quickly looking into the sky for Ben, but he wasn't anywhere to be seen. The boy's heart sank to the ground. He feared he would never see his friend again. But the boy knew he had to be brave. He remembered what his mother always told him. If you're ever scared or worried, just close your eyes, take a big, deep breath, and you can do anything. So he did just that. He pulled his rucksack straps tight and started to walk along the path crossing the field. The green sea of grass ahead was decorated with dandelion puffs, like little hot air balloons waiting to take off. He walked along the path when suddenly a fox appeared right in front of him. Surprised, the boy stopped to see the fox standing tall with ears pointed straight up into the sky. "You look like you're going on an adventure," the fox stated excitedly. "I'm going to save my best friend, Ben the Cloud, who got blown away by the storm," the boy said back. "I saw that storm all right. One big old gust that came over blew leaves all over my den. Must have puffed it right over the woods," said the fox, understanding that this was not just an adventure, it was a rescue mission. "I grew up by those woods. I know them better than anyone else around here, and I know the best way through. Follow me." At that, the fox spun round and bounded down the path. The boy didn't wait a second and found himself running right behind. The trees seemed to grow taller and taller with every step. When they reached the border of the woodland, they both stopped dead in their tracks and gazed up in awe at the huge maple, elm and birch trees, all in a line like guards. The fox took a few steps in, but quickly realised the boy hadn't moved. "Come on, this way," urged the fox. But the boy stood still. He looked into the shadowy tangle of trees and vines, with ferns reaching out from the ground like hands, like green hands almost as high as him. He'd never been this far away from his house on his own, and he wished so much he was back in his garden with Ben the Cloud. "It's all right," said the fox, smiling to the boy. "We'll rescue your friend together." The boy was happy the fox was there, and they began into the woods together. The adventurers made their way over the roots, round the trees and under the branches, when they heard the faint sound of running water. They ventured towards the steady rhythm growing louder, and soon arrived at a flowing stream, with long grass reeds and bulrushes lining each side. "Hello," came a quiet voice from the riverbank. "Are you trying to get across?" "Yes, we are," said the boy, scanning the bulrushes to see from where the voice had come. As if out from nowhere, a rather small green frog jumped and landed right in front of the boy and the fox. "We're on a rescue mission to save Ben the Cloud," exclaimed the fox. "We're going to Puffin Bridge to get across." "Well, I know a secret crossing that's much closer," said the frog. "I can take you there if you want." "Oh yes, please. We need to get across quickly," said the boy, and they set off along the path. They walked along the river as it meandered left and right, and the boy looked up and noticed a bright blue hole in the sky in the middle of the dark clouds. It reminded him of when he dropped his paint set and the blue paint spilled all over the carpet. His mother wasn't mad. She said it was what a giant lake would look like to bend the cloud flying high in the sky. As they walked, the river danced playfully next to them, and the boy noticed colourful wild flowers peering out to watch them walk by. "See that old willow hanging its leaves across the path?" said the frog. "We need to walk through them." And as the boy pushed aside some branches, he saw a perfect line of rocks laid out as stepping stones across the stream. The boy hopped carefully across them. He thought to himself that it was exactly like crossing the lava lake at the bottom of the garden. He thought, one by one, he made it across with the fox close behind. The group continued their journey into the woods, and after a little way longer, turning this way and that, they reached a clearing shaped like a giant's footprint. The grey clouds were getting much thinner now, painting the treetops with rays of sunlight. The boy looked up to see if he could see Ben the Cloud, but he was still nowhere to be found. The fox bounded into the middle of the clearing and started to spin around, looking in every direction. "Do you know the way?" asked the boy. "We're at Sundial Rock, but I haven't been any further before." The boy suddenly felt worried. He realised that they were lost. The boy kept hearing an odd rustling noise in the trees beside them. Suddenly they all heard a loud "Ah!" The group turned all around and saw it was a crow, hopping from branch to branch, watching them. Flying down from her perch, the crow swooped low to the ground, spread her wings and landed on top of Sundial Rock. "What brings you all here?" said the crow curiously. "We're on a rescue mission," replied the fox. "To save Ben the Cloud," explained the frog, "and we're going to help him get home," said the boy confidently. "He got blown away in the wind this morning." "I can fly up high over the trees and look to see if I can see him," said the crow. And without another word, she flapped her great wings and climbed up into the sky before disappearing over the treetops. The boy, the fox, and the frog stood in silence, looking everywhere in the sky for the crow, while the wind rustled in the trees, which sounded like someone scrunching up pages of newspaper, or the speaker behind him. The boy turned around on the spot when he saw the crow soaring down between the branches and landed silently on top of the rock. "I saw a little cloud flying right above the Telegraph Hill," said the crow, "just past the edge of the woods." "Brilliant," said the boy as he jumped in the air, kept close. The crow flew around the branches, the fox darted in between the trees, and the boy ran alongside with the frog. They reached the end of the woods and arrived at the bottom of Telegraph Hill. The boy looked up and saw Ben the Cloud flying in circles, looking for his way home. When they got to the top, the boy was out of breath, but managed to muster enough to shout, "Hey, Ben, over here!" The boy was so happy they found each other. "Did you see the storm carry me away? I went miles, but found my way back here," Ben the Cloud said. "But how did you find me?" "These are my new friends," said the boy. "The fox knows the woods better than anyone. He helped me find the way. The frog knows the secrets of the stream. We crossed with her help. And the crow is clever and climbed high in the sky above the tallest trees to look for you." They were all so happy to be together. Before they walked down, the boy looked around and saw a view of the whole village. He had never seen anyone from up here before. It looked like a toy, and that if he wanted, he could reach across and pick up any one of the buildings. Beyond the village, the grey clouds were rolling away and the sun was beaming warmth onto the trees and across the hills where they all stood. He thought to himself that it looked so beautiful and that sometimes you need grey skies to fill when the sun comes out again. The air was fresh and crisp. As they walked all the way back together under the trees, across the clearing, over the stepping stones, past the stream, towards the edge of the woodland. The crow flew high in the sky next to Ben the Cloud, and the boy would look up every so often and smile. The boy knew he had done what he'd set out to do, but that meant that this was the end of the adventure. "Thank you for all your help," said the boy, smiling. "I couldn't have done it without you." He looked back to see his house in the distance, and he knew he had to go back. He thought about all the new adventures he'd have, just him and Ben the Cloud, like he wanted all along. He was standing with his new friends, and he had an idea. "Would you like to come see the buried treasure left by the pirates?" he asked. "Only if I can find them with my sword," shouted the fox as he bounced forwards, pretending to swipe a sharp dagger. Ben the Cloud was flying happy as ever in the sky, with his arms in the air, and said, "Yippee!" His mother was in the garden, and when she looked out of the back window, she saw the boy at the bottom of the garden, but at this, his mother was in the kitchen. And when she looked out the back window, she saw the boy at the bottom of the garden, but this time something was different. He wasn't alone. There were 3 other children playing with him. Another boy in a bright orange jacket with muddy boots was pretending to swipe a big sword. Digging in the sand was a girl with short hair with a big green jumper on, while the tall girl was sword fighting back, her long black hair floating in the wind. The sunlight filled the whole garden, and Ben the Cloud watched over them all with a big beaming smile on his face. The boy looked happy to be with his new friends.